Today I'm going to do a quick video on identity and change and how a little metaphor can help you understand why change seems so hard until you have the keys to it. Hey guys, Matt Tait from Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. Today's little video is about identity and change. And there's always this perception, and it's absolutely right, that change is hard. Change is difficult. Change is painful. And it takes a long time to do. Well, one of the things I like to say to people is that it's a bit like driving a car. If you think about, there's your car over there, the car's sitting there, and you need to move the car. What do you do? Imagine that car is actually your identity. Well, if you want to move the car, what do? You get your keys. So grab my keys, little prop in hand. You get your keys, you put the key into the door, unless you've got a keyless, open the door, you get in, you sit down, you then get the key again and put it into the ignition, turn on the car fires up, then what happens? What's next? Well, what's next is you've started the car, now you've got the brake on, so maybe you put your foot on the brake, you release the handbrake, you get your hand and you put it on the gear, move it into drive, or if you've got a shift or a stick or whatever you've got, but let's just assume it's an automatic, put it into drive, and then hands on the wheel, then steer the car, gently taking your foot off the brake and slowly squeezing the accelerator. Now, if you want to move that car, that's how you would do it, and then you move the car, and then driving's a whole nother adventure. Now, if you don't actually have said keys, what do? You don't have the keys. What do you do? Now, what some people do when they're trying to shift their identity is they don't have the keys, and they maybe aren't even aware that there's a keyhole in the door, and then that there's also a keyhole for the ignition, and that there's also a steering wheel, and that there's a handbrake, there's a foot brake, and there's an accelerator pedal. And they don't know any of these things. They don't know the sequence of the brain that the identity lives with, the qualities inside yourself. So, without the keys, what do most people try to do when they're trying to move their vehicle of life, their vehicle of their identity? They get in behind the car and they try and push it. Now, you can try and push it, and if it's on a slope, maybe you might get a little bit of movement with the resistance of the handbrake, but I guarantee you'll give up. I guarantee you'll stop. I guarantee you will not persevere. Willpower will not be enough. So what do? You find the keys to the car, you learn how to drive it, and then you set off into the sunset, moving your identity towards the destination you want it to be at. Because your identity is running you, your identity is holding you back, or your identity is surging you forward. And so if it's holding you back, let's shift the identity. What is the identity? Well, it's made up of a bunch of qualities, it's made up of beliefs, it's made up of values, it's made up of a whole lot of skills and behaviors, and environments that you are in are clues as to this identity that's running you. So, there you go. Get the keys to your car of life, learn how to drive it, get those keys, and then learn how to move the car, or learn how to move your identity. I hope that's helped. It's a little piece I've picked up from the Self-Concept book. This book here by Steve Andreas, Transforming Yourself. And that's where this little video came from. That and a conversation with my partner, Anna, who we were talking about these things, and I realized, of course, it's just like driving a car. If you don't know the keys are there, and you don't know to put it in the door and then into the ignition, then you'll end up moving the car trying to push it. And I don't know about you, but I'll give up after a while. You give me the keys, and I will move the car. Because I know how, I've learned how, I've done it so many times that I can move the car very easily. But we don't have the keys to our identity. We don't have the vehicle. We have to learn that in order to move ourselves forward. I hope this little tip's helpful today, and that you get a bit of a sense that you've got to learn some skills and learn where the keys are and where to put the key to open the door, to turn on the ignition to your life and move yourself forward. Get to know your identity, how you've built it, and you will have the keys. As I get my keys out of my pocket once more, you'll have the keys to your own life. Matt Tait from Fork in the Road, signing out. Remember always to subscribe and like this page, clicking on that little button in the bottom right hand corner and the little thumbs up to let us know, and leave a comment. I would love to hear if this resonates with you. I'd love to hear if this has been useful to you, so I can make content that is useful and moves you forward. I'll do a whole lot more on the self-concept book. Just wanted to get myself going again with this great little video that inspired me today. I hope it inspires you. Find the keys to your life and move your vehicle, your identity.